Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about feeling fulfilled. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, hi Frederick, do you feel fulfilled in what you do as a career? I asked because I used to work at a hospital and help patients, and even though the pay was crap, I felt I was helping people and that fulfilled me. I also worked with animals in taking care of them as a job, and that also fulfilled me. Maybe I am a nurturer, however, web development changed my life and gave me opportunities, money, and a different lifestyle I've never had but always wanted. However, I do not feel fulfilled creating sites for businesses or millionaires. I do not get any sort of fulfillment from this work at all. I enjoy the pay, the benefits, and the lifestyle, but I am empty. I think I'm going to work on getting hobbies that I find fulfilling, but I always figured my career would be something that I love so much that work would never feel like work. And it does not. Maybe this is just part of adulthood. Do you feel fulfilled in the work that you do? Or do you see it as a means to an end? Maybe one day so that you can retire and do what you truly love to do. Well, I think that you and we are very much, at least in this regard, I think that you and I are two sides of the same coin. I said this once to someone very special to me, where after hearing her life story, I could relate to it so much, in fact, that it almost felt that I could say that, you know, those movies where you get to see, okay, if they get this major decision, or there are some computer games as well, you get this big decision, and you can go down one or two routes. You have to there's a fork in the road, you can go down one of these paths. And I felt when I was talking to her that I had gone down one path and she had gone down the other one, and it felt like I could see what would have happened because we were so similar in our way of thinking, at the very least, that I felt like I could see what would have happened if I did the other thing. And the thing that you are describing right now is the main reason why I didn't really get into a career mindset until my mid 20s, something like that. And this was a big anxiety for me when I was growing up, or when I was in my 20s, because most of my friends that they kind of got into doing work when they were like 18, 19, that sort of thing, right? And I really didn't. I focused on my studies and so forth, and a few years I did kind of smaller, like I used to be a mover as an example. I did things that were sort of fun, but they were still work, right? And the only thing I really knew was that I never wanted to be in the position that you are describing right now. I never wanted to go to a job that I hated, or that felt empty, or that it felt like I didn't actually want to wake up every morning and go and do the thing that I'm supposed to do. Because the way that I think about these things is very simple. I argue that the time that you spend working, regardless now, practically, and there is a clause here, or like an exception, usually you will not be able, no matter how much money you make from a job, to make up the time that you lose in the workday in some other way, with a hobby or vacations or anything like that. Unless, like I like to say, that if you make a few $100 more or less, or even a few $1,000 more or less, it's going to I mean, it's not like it's not going to affect your lifestyle, but if you hate the job, it is really unlikely that you will be able to live such a fulfilling life in some other fashion that's not going to kill you inside. Maybe depending on how much you dislike it. You're going to have to make a serious amount of money from it. Like we're talking, if you found a company and you sell that company at some point and you become like a millionaire or something like that, maybe you will be able to make it up in some way. But on average, I think it's a better investment for people, at least that's how I think about it, to do things that feel fulfilling as a career. And to answer your question regarding programming, honestly, I'm just gonna read what I said, like in the comment. I basically wrote back that the passion that I feel for IT and software development, and not necessarily just software development, but it is the thing that I'm doing. I can't put it into words. It's such a huge part of my life and my personal interests and my identity and like everything. I've even said on a few occasions that the only thing that truly scares me in terms of if something bad is going to happen, is that something would happen that would take this away from me, because it's so important to me. I don't even know what I would do if I didn't do this thing. To give you just a few things, that this just happened today, which was like this. It's a Saturday, and it was hot as well. It was hot as balls. I'm just gonna say it. It was hot as balls, and so I didn't really have the energy to do anything of the normal stuff that I usually do, like exercise and stuff like that, because it was just simply too warm. So I just lied down in my bed and put on an 11 hours prep tutorial for Azure Cloud, like the Azure Cloud Architect or Solution Architect certificate. I'm probably never going to take it. It's just that I already have already studied the same thing on AWS and GCP and so forth, but it was simply too hot. So instead of having, like, I don't know, some show in the background, I just laid there and tried to rest while listening to this guy go through all the features in Azure, because I could not. I can't be without it. It's almost an obsession, or like it's a passion that is so strong. I have subscribed to every single newsletter and RSS feed that I could possibly find that makes something that is relevant or interesting to me. Like literally everything. Like I can't, there is not enough content for me to consume at this point. I mostly just swipe through like every other, like just a few. I'll give you this. Imagine the most obsessive Facebook addict or Instagram addict, and try to imagine that I do that with Medium articles. But there's simply not enough content. There's simply not enough tutorials or blog about it. Like I just go through it and then I'm done, and then I have to sit and wonder what should I do now. Luckily today, today I had this epiphany, because I was trying out this really shitty extension for logging, and I realized that, hey, I found a way to improve my own logging messages when I debug things in JavaScript and TypeScript and so forth. And basically what I did, I was brought out my work laptop, pull that thing out and like set up my snippet so that I could try it out. And then I realized that shit, now I'm actually almost working again on the thing I'm going to do Monday. So but I almost got back into work mode. Luckily for me though, there was a few Elite Code challenges that I could work on that actually kind of made me, that gave me the opportunity to try out my new awesome logging thing that I made. And in the same breath, I also have to say that while I was doing this, I realized that PowerShell does not support emojis, and that is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. This week, as an example, I feel extra happy and giddy because it's the first time I really started to get this idea of having small commits when I make a pull request. And so I've spent a lot of time googling around trying to figure out, okay, what will be a really good, strong branching strategy when you're working on a feature branch, and let's say you want to slice that up into multiple sub branches like unit tests or refactors and things like that, because they're kind of dependent on each other, and you want to create a nice pull request system, so you can track, okay, these are all the branches that represent this feature, or like all the work contained in this story, right? And not forget to merge them. And so I've been working with that and trying to figure that out. So like the only thing I can tell you is that for me, software development is the big passion. It is the thing that I want to do. I feel like I hit the jackpot in terms of careers. There are other things that I mean, there's more to my life than just software development. It's just that this is definitely the thing I was meant to do. At least that's how I feel about it. And honestly, I feel empty inside. Basically what you described, I feel empty if I'm not either coding on something fun or learning about something fun or something like that. It is huge for me, and I think that I'm not saying that you have to do this thing. I don't think everybody's going to feel this way about software development. I just think that you should try. You have to decide for yourself what's right for you, but I think that you should always consider that fulfillment is it's something that you simply, it's nigh on impossible to buy it. You have to find it. If you're lucky, you can buy it, but it's not something that simple. We are all different, and we find fulfillment in different ways. So what I want you to take away from this is that yes, software development is definitely fulfilling to me. It is one of my great passions. I care about it to a point where it's almost obsessive at this point, and I love it. I love it. It's work does not feel like work to me most of the time. The only time it really is boring to go to work is when there's nothing like super interesting to work on, or when you have to do things that are too simple or not complicated enough, or things like that. So for me, yes, this is definitely something that I care about, and I'm not going to be preachy. Everybody, I really think that all you can do is to do the things that feel right to you. Like be the best version of yourself, and that you can be, and do whatever makes the most sense to you. Nothing else matters. And finding fulfillment is a complicated thing, but I think that you should continue trying until you find it, because when you find it, I hope that you will feel like I do. Nothing beats feeling fulfilled. Have a great day.